Hey, that's a lot better. Thank you, Sarah, for paying attention to that. Thank you both, Sarahs, actually. I got a message from Sarah Hand Rap, and Sarah Hatch also said it in the comments. So, thank you, Sarahs, for helping us diagnose that little issue. Fantastic. All right, we are live. Happy Martin Luther King Day to everybody. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. So this is Gentleman Octopus Trivia, and we're live every Monday evening. So, glad to have you here. Let's see. Oh, Sarah Hatch, thank you very much for the like. Like seeing those tentacles go up near the very beginning of the game. It's always a good sign. It's always a good sign. And let's see. We have about 10 minutes till we get started. We're going to do a couple of things just a little bit differently tonight, and we'll get to that in just a moment. But first, again, just want to say thank you for everybody being out here, and I can't wait to get started.
Yep.
Let's see. Got the YouTube open. Got the Twitch.
Yep.
All ready to go. Love the new multi-stream setup. Okay, great. Oh, looks like Dan Fitzpatrick has liked the page. Hey, thank you very much, Dan, for coming in, and thanks for showing your support. Tentacles are entertaining for sure. Yes, they are, Sarah. Thank you very much. All right, let's take a look at our fantastic supporters, in addition to, of course, the people we have in the audience tonight. And if you are on this board and in the audience tonight, we do want to say thank you directly. But in addition to everybody who's supporting us tonight and in the audience, we would also like to say thank you to Ben Hatch, Carrie Bonnell, and Rachel Schumann, Jason Hess, Claire Fisher, and Gail Angeles, to John Paul Gwynn, Stephen Glassman, and Mark Dawson, to Adam Francois Watkins, Gwen Abrams, and Clifford Gallagher, Kent Buxton, Sean Cully, and Martin Butterick, to Lindsay Henry, Dan Fitzpatrick, and to Sarah Ann Rapp, who has contributed yet another question to tonight's game.
I think she's the only other writer on this set.
Yep, that's true. And has been true for many of our weeks.
Yep.
We've been kind of, on a roll cranking out content. So, that being said, we love having guest authors. So if there's ever a time that you feel like you want to contribute to an Octopus game, please reach out. We'd love to have you. And thank you again, Sarah, for contributing a question to tonight's game. Let's see. Hey, do you have one of the Octopus bottle openers? I thought they're usually up there, which is why I'm looking for them. Things got moved around a little bit.
Down your card back there.
Yeah, there might be one. Give me a sec. You want to move on to the next slide?
Yeah. Shirts. We love the Gentleman Octopus t-shirts. We're both rocking the black and gray variant tonight. If you donate $25 in a single event, you can get yourself a Gentleman Octopus t-shirt. All you have to do is go to Venmo at McKinney-Sizemore or PayPal at ksizemore@hotmail.com. And as I said, donate $25 or more in a single event, and you will be eligible for a free t-shirt.
Yes. Also, we've got these bottle openers that I'll now show you right here.
Bring those back up.
There's one of them right there. It's nice, heavy-duty, magnetic. I'm going to use it to open this Jack Daniel's Southern Peach.
Don't think it's completely necessary, but yeah.
It is, actually. This one does require an opener.
There you go.
Almost.
No.
There we go.
All right.
Just like that.
Sticks to the opener nicely.
It does. Yep, it does. And if you want to get your hands on one of those bottle openers, just send us $10 and request one. And we'll hook you up. If you send us like 30, we'll hook you up with a shirt and a bottle opener.
That's a package deal.
Yeah, exactly. Make that combo happen for you. But anyway, like TJ said, you can send those donations in to Venmo at McKinney-Sizemore, or you can use PayPal and send to ksizemore@hotmail.com.
We would like to stress, though, that it is not necessary to donate to play tonight's game or any game that we play in the future.
We are simply happy to have people playing questions. It's a lot of fun for us to write them. It's even more fun to be able to bring them to you, and we're just grateful for the opportunity, really.
If you do feel like you want to donate, those are the handles to use. But again, no pressure. It's not a make or break thing for us.
Yeah, and those handles will pop up again a couple of more times throughout the game. If, however, you need to see them again, please let us know. We will definitely not withhold that information. All right, moving on to our next slide. This is all about our partners, QuickWit. just wrote a question for them last night, which
Just
you'll be able
won
to...
a question yesterday.
Hey, just won a question. Yeah, yesterday. You're right.
Yep, yesterday. Won a Snuggie.
Won a Snuggie.
Won a Snuggie.
Won a
That's
Snuggie.
a throwback.
Nice purple Snuggie.
It looked like Grimace.
But yeah, as the slide says, QuickWit is an exciting and competitive trivia app that rewards players with physical prizes. With QuickWit, you will get 2 different questions at random points throughout the day. You'll have 15 minutes to answer those questions, and you will not have the benefit of multiple choice. However, you can use whatever general knowledge you already possess and whatever you're able to Google. You'll get 2 sort of riddle-like questions, and like I said, search engines are almost necessary.
Yeah.
Almost totally necessary. But it's a lot of fun. And you can get rewarded with some really cool stuff. We've each won a couple pair of sunglasses. That aforementioned Snuggie is the 37th win that I've taken home, according to my stats. You've got like 20-some, right?
20. Yeah, I think I have 20.
Yeah. So we've won more than 50 things put together. And what I think is really interesting is over the last couple of days, they've been rotating out their prizes.
Yeah,
there's
definitely been some newer stuff.
Yeah, I mean, today there was a 23-piece cooking set. Yeah, with everything you need. There was also like a chopper with various blades and different frames and stuff like that, something you can use in the kitchen as well. They had a beard grooming kit. They had chilled whiskey stones, which looked handsome. They've had a 12-pack of bath bombs. There's really something for everybody, and I just love the fact that they're rotating their prizes in and out and giving everybody who's been playing a chance to win something different. Because I got 3 Anchor Mini Soundcore speakers, you know,
They're great though,
and only 1 Snuggie.
Yeah,
There's only 1 Snuggie. All right, well, we have just about 5 minutes before we get started.
So we're going to get some rules.
Yeah, but before we do, just want to say, QuickWit's totally free to play. No credits required, anything like that. Go ahead and download it if you're using iOS. If you already have the app, update it so that you can get all of the brand new features, including the ability to see our question as it
goes live
premieres
tomorrow. Yep,
tomorrow afternoon. Exactly. All right. Hopping into the rules, and this is where things are going to get just a little bit different tonight, mainly time-wise. So, with Gentleman Octopus, we use Google Forms. Please submit your answers using the Google Form links that we provided, either on the event page, which we haven't done that in a while, but which TJ will certainly provide in the comments for you. Make sure that you include your team name on each one of those forms, and that you only submit each form one time. There will be 5 rounds of 8 questions tonight, and your middle round will be a music round
with a
theme. Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Feel free to play individually or team up with others via any kind of private chat offering that you can judge up. Next one here. This is where things get a little bit different. So, each correct answer to a question will be worth 1 point, unless we note otherwise, and we haven't done that in almost a calendar year at this point.
It's been a while,
It's been a while. The only exception there is the music round, in which case a title is worth 1 point, an artist is worth 1 point, and the theme is worth 2
bonus points.
And again, artist and title are never mutually inclusive, so if you say, like...
Boulevard of Broken Dreams is by...
Pat Benatar.
Yeah, sure.
Then we'll give you credit for one of those things, depending on what you heard. So, yeah, don't worry about that. If you get the title wrong, you can get credit for the artist. If you get the artist wrong, you can get credit for the title. Questions we read once and then recapped before the submission timer starts. We've decided to reduce our submission timer a little bit tonight, just in the interest of making the game a little less bulky in places.
We're going to try to get everybody out before like 11.
That's our goal.
That's the goal.
That is our goal. So you are going to have 3 minutes instead of the usual 5 to submit your answers tonight. There will be no final question, and tiebreaker will only be used in the event of a first place tie. And here's a fun little secret. The tiebreaker hasn't yet been written. What will happen is if we find ourselves in the event of a first place tie, I will put all of the questions into a random number generator. And whichever number that gives us, we will take the corresponding question and find a closest to the pin style question to write that reflects that question's subject.
Yep.
So it could be music, could be geography, could be movies, could be a lot of different things. But anyway, that is how we handle tiebreakers and final questions and all that.
Yep. So the first thing I'm going to put in the chat is a survey based on how the game is running and how you'd like to see it done in the future, whether you'd like to see it moved, anything like that. I'm going to drop that in the chat now.
Yes, that survey, by the way, is only 3 questions long, so it shouldn't take any time at all to fill it out. Essentially, we want to know 3 things. We want to know how you feel about themed rounds, we want to know what times work best for you, and we want to know what you feel is the optimum number of questions per round. We've been thinking about changing at least a couple of those things, but we want to hear from everybody about that first.
Before we make such a drastic change.
Oh, absolutely. We've heard conflicting opinions, so it would be good to get as many perspectives as possible. So please, while we have a couple of moments before the game starts, take that time and fill out the survey. Like I said, it's only 3 questions. It should take 2 minutes or so. And if you have anything more that you want to say, feel free to either drop it in the chat, provided everybody keeps it civil, or send us a message. We want to hear anything that you have to add in regards to how the game is run and how you feel it could be run better. We're quite proud of the product. Yeah. Not saying that at all. Yeah. We are saying, however, that it'd be nice to,
always want to constantly be improving.
Always be improving, exactly. That is the thing.
In addition to that, I am going ahead and dropping the score sheets.
Yes. I know that we have at least one brand new team because they messaged me today. That's how you're going to submit your answers, and the way to keep up with that is to check the chat because TJ will be keeping you abreast of that. In fact,
and it will be the pinned comment.
Yes. In fact, let me go now and make sure that I do that for YouTube and Twitch.
Yep, make sure you also put the survey in.
Mm-hmm. So there's round 1 for YouTube.
And with that, we will be getting started in just about a minute.
Just about. Yep, that's round 1 for Twitch. Then I'll pop in the survey, and we will be good to go, I think. Let's see. Survey.
Are you just putting round 1 in, or are you sending them to just the Google form?
What do you mean?
Because I normally just send them to the Google form.
Oh, yeah, the link tree. Of course. I should have just done that. I will do that. So, YouTube and Twitch, I will drop the link tree in, which has your link to...
Because then you'll have to do it once.
Exactly. Which has your link to all of the answer forms. And then also the survey is in the second link that I dropped there. All right. I think we are ready to get started. What do you think?
Yeah. Just looking at the chat now.
Fantastic. I'm going to get started now with question number 1. Published between 1957 and 60, the novels Justine, Balthazar, Mount Olive, that's all one word and supposed to be all one word, and Clea are the 4 works in a tetralogy written by Lawrence Durrell and named for what North African city? So again, for question number 1, what North African city names a tetralogy of works, including Justine, Balthazar, Mount Olive, and Clea? 4 novels that were written by Lawrence Durrell. That's question number 1.
That is question number 1. Moving swiftly on to question number 2. Question number 2. In what was later called the Honey War, Missouri nearly took up arms against which of its neighbors, claiming the territorial rights to a location in modern-day Keokuk. Keokuk?
It's Keokuk, I think.
Keokuk, yeah.
I love that. Keokuk.
The reason I said that is because there's actually a hockey player named Slayer Cuckoo, and it doesn't look anything like it. So I took a shot at it. Cool.
Fantastic.
It was later called the Honey War. Missouri nearly took up arms against which of its neighbors, claiming the territorial rights to a location in modern-day Keokuk. Which of its neighbors did Missouri nearly get into a row with? That's question number 2.
Question number 3, your first sports question of the night.
Sports.
What quarterback and first ever MVP, that's Nickelodeon Valuable Player, was selected to the Pro Bowl in 2019, ending his team's 30-plus season drought without an All-Pro quarterback?
I should say a Pro Bowl quarterback. All-Pro and Pro Bowl are 2 totally different things.
Today I learned. I was under the impression that they were...
Nope, there's only 3 All-Pro teams.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you very much. So, what quarterback and first ever Nickelodeon Most Valuable Player was selected to the Pro Bowl in 2019, ending his team's 30-plus season drought without a Pro Bowl selection at that position? That's correct?
That's fair.
Excellent. That's question number 3.
Question number 4. What animal-inspired term describes an action in hockey in which an offensive player slaps their stick against the ice to demand the puck? And if that's not your jam, that's okay. The same term also names the treats seen on the following slide. So what animal-inspired term names the treats seen on this slide? What kind of treats are those? Also names a action where a hockey player slaps their stick on the ice to demand the puck.
I'm open.
Yep. What is that called?
All right.
That is question number 4.
Those look tasty.
Those
by the
do
way.
look tasty, especially the one with the Reese's Pieces on it.
That's the one I was targeting too. Zeroed in on the Reese piece.
The Reese's Pieces.
Question
Way to
number
go,
5. In 1947, a group of major movie producers released the Waldorf Statement condemning the Hollywood 10. A group whose most famous member was probably what screenwriter of Roman Holiday and Spartacus? So once again, we're looking for the name of the screenwriter of Roman Holiday and Spartacus, who was likely the most famous member of the Hollywood 10, a group of blackballed Hollywood screenwriters.
You guys went ahead and put it in the chat again. I think the pinned comments are doing that thing again.
Okay.
Where if it's a pinned comment, it doesn't like showing up in multiple places.
Okay. If you're having any trouble accessing the answer sheets, please let us know. We'll try to get that sorted as quickly as possible. But that is question number 5.
That is question number 5. No problem, guys. Question number 6. Seen on the following slide are the emperor and golden lion species of what type of primate whose name differs from that of an Indian plant by a single letter? Once again, seen on the following slide are the emperor and golden lion species of what type of primate whose name differs from that of an Indian plant by a single letter. And there's your primates.
Name your primates.
Oh, we're in the corner there.
Oh, we're also primates,
We
so
are.
that works.
And we're covering up that mustache, though. How can you?
Not just the mustache, but the blep there with the little tongue.
Yeah. Got a solid Albert Einstein going.
Yep. On the left is the emperor. As you could probably tell, on the right is the golden lion species. Of what primate?
Yeah, I think the mane kind of gives it away for the golden lion.
I'd say so.
So what type of primate is that? That is question number 6.
All right, let's bring back these primates and move on to question number 7. Question 7. Which Caribbean island country was originally known as Luana before adopting the name of a canonized woman from Syracuse? And here's a little extra fact for you. Luana meant land of the iguanas.
That's a bonus animal for you.
That's a bonus animal. Which Caribbean island country was originally known as Luana before adopting the name of a canonized woman from Syracuse? Looking for the name of that country named after a canonized woman from Syracuse. That's question 7.
And moving on to the final question here of round number 1. Question number 8. Mixing equal parts champagne with Guinness Stout produces a layered cocktail that shares its colorful name with what number 1 single first released in 1989? So what number 1 single first released in 1989 shares its name with a Guinness Stout layered cocktail as equal parts champagne and Guinness?
By the way, do not recommend. I've had one of these before and I do not recommend.
Yeah.
I enjoy both of those things much more apart from one another.
It's so easy to make.
All right, that is question number 8. We're going to move into the recap and going to just summarize the questions for you here. Question number 1 was your literature question, and we wanted to know what North African city names a Lawrence Durrell tetralogy that includes Justine, Balthazar, Mount Olive, and Clea. So, what North African city names that set of 4 works by Lawrence Durrell?
That is question number 1. Question number 2. In what was called the Honey War, Missouri nearly took up arms against what of its neighbors? because of the territorial rights of modern-day Keokuk. So in the Honey War, Missouri nearly took up arms against which one of its border states?
Yep.
That is question number 2.
Question number 3. What quarterback was selected to the Pro Bowl in 2019, ending his team's 30-plus season drought without a Pro Bowl selection at that position? Quarterback was also named the first ever Nickelodeon Most Valuable Player.
Question number 4. What animal term describes an action in hockey in which an offensive player slaps their stick against the ice to demand the puck, and also gives the name of these treats?
Tasty.
What are the name of these tasty boys? That cookies and cream one is talking to me in the middle, too.
Oh, yeah. And I think the one on the left might be Nutella.
It might be Nutella.
That color looks like Nutella.
Crepes with Nutella. Ooh.
Don't get me started on crepes. I'll post an elbow. We'll talk about crepes for a while.
We'll talk about crepes.
That's question number 4.
Yeah. Let's talk about crepes.
Question number 5. Which screenwriter of Roman Holiday and Spartacus was likely the most famous member of the blackballed screenwriters known as the Hollywood 10? That's question 5.
Question number 6. Seen on the following slide are the emperor and golden lion species of what primate whose name differs from that of an Indian plant by a single letter?
There are your primates.
There are the primates. Give you about 15 seconds with those boys.
Facebook will send me another copyright notification because I hum too much of the Jeopardy theme.
Yep. Should have thought.
Yeah. Good one.
Was it a good one? It was a 1. For sure.
That was question number 6. This is question number 7. Which Caribbean island country adopted the name of a canonized woman from Syracuse? Which island country in the Caribbean is named for a canonized woman from Syracuse? That's number 7. And your last one.
And your final question. Made with equal parts champagne and Guinness Stout, what layered cocktail shares its name with a number 1 single first released in 1989?
All right.
Yeah.
That's
Layered Shot shares its name with a 1989 hit single.
Layered cocktail. You said shot that time.
Yeah. Sure.
It is not a shot.
Not a shot.
All right. So
you shouldn't take it as a shot for sure.
You could, but you shouldn't. You're right.
That's a bad idea. That's a bad time.
All right. So we brought it back to question number 1. We're going to put up the countdown timer. You can have 3 minutes to submit your answers, and we will see you on the other side. Good luck. All right, I think we have all of our responses in. If that's not the case, please let us know soon. I'm going to lock down the answer forms in probably about 20 seconds. So
We'll score
please
those
go ahead
and get back to you.
Yep. So we'll take just a moment. Feel free to hit the restroom or get yourself a drink. We will get back.
Back.
We will be back in just a moment with your first round answers. See you soon. There we are. All right, let's take a look at the answers from round.
And we'll get into
number one.
meeting our teams.
Sounds good. Question number 1. Published between 1957 and 60, the novels Justine, Balthazar, Mount Olive, and Clea are the 4 works in a tetralogy written by Lawrence Durrell and named for what North African city? That would be Alexandria. These books collectively are known as the Alexandria Quartet.
Question number 2 was later called the Honey War. Missouri nearly took up arms against which of its neighbors, claiming the territorial rights to a location in modern-day Keokuk. And that neighbor was Iowa.
Yep. The entire territorial dispute began as a misinterpretation of a recent land survey.
That's how the best wars start.
Entirely bloodless, too.
Yep.
Question number 3. What quarterback and first ever Nickelodeon valuable player was selected to the Pro Bowl in 2019, ending his team's 30-plus season drought without a Pro Bowl selection at that position? And what
We'll see if he comes back next year. This is Chicago Bears quarterback Mitch Trubisky. The last one they had, I believe, was 1986, and that was Jim McMahon.
During Nickelodeon's coverage of the New Orleans Saints-Chicago Bears playoff game, though he was on the losing team, Mitch Trubisky won by fan vote the Nickelodeon Valuable Player Award, which has got to be rough to...
Yeah, Mitch got trolled.
Yeah,
Mitch got
which has
trolled
got to
hard.
be rough to walk off and, after a playoff loss in which you're eliminated and then be handed a trophy.
Yeah, hang in there, Mitchell. Question number 4. What animal
Think,
term...
Daddy. Thanks for the follow.
What animal inspired term describes an action in hockey in which an offensive player slaps their stick against the ice to demand the puck? That one's not your speed. What are these tasty boys called?
Very tasty. We had a couple of guesses for elephant ears, which is close.
Yeah, it is.
Those are longer, thinner, and made by a company that actually shares the name with this treat, and that treat is...
It is the beaver tail.
Yep.
When you slap your stick on the ice to look for the puck, you are beaver tailing.
Yeah. I love the idea of, literally a beaver
Yep.
playing hockey. Just
Yep. Come on.
What's up?
Pass the biscuit.
give it up. Question number 5. In 1947, a group of major movie producers released the Waldorf Statement condemning the Hollywood 10, a group whose most famous member was probably what screenwriter of Roman Holiday and Spartacus. That statement was released in response to them being held in contempt of court, not in response to the charges leveled against them. And the most famous screenwriter who wrote those pictures was Dalton Trumbo, recently played by Bryan Cranston in a biopic.
Yep. That's just called Trumbo, right?
I believe so, yeah.
I thought so. Question number 6. Seen on the following slide are the emperor and golden lion species of what type of primate, whose name differs from that of an Indian plant by a single letter. And there's your primates again. And on the left, we have the
Emperor.
And the right is the golden lion species of the tamarins.
Yep. We had a couple of guesses from marmoset, which is a good guess because the golden marmoset is absolutely a thing.
Mm-hmm.
However, golden lion, cotton top, emperor, and many others are species of tamarins.
Yep.
And of course, tamarind, spelled with a D, would be the Indian plant that bears a particular type of fruit. Contempt of Congress is correct, Jerome. That is correct. It was not contempt of court, it was contempt of Congress. Question number 7. Which Caribbean island country was originally known as Luana before adopting the name of a canonized woman from Syracuse? One of the last questions I ever missed that gave me the capital of a country was a Learned League question that mentioned this country. And what inspired me to do this question was the fact that it is St. Lucia. And on the flag of St. Lucia, if you look at it, it's this beautiful aqua blue, and there are these two yellow and black protrusions. Those yellow and black protrusions are those peaks. They are represented symbolically on the flag. They are referred to as volcanic plugs.
And your final question of the round, question number 8. Mixing equal parts champagne and Guinness Stout produces a layered cocktail that shares its colorful name with what number 1 single first released in 1989? Big song in 1989 was Black Velvet
by, I believe, Juno Award winner Alana Miles.
Yep.
Yeah, we had a guess of Ebony and Ivory, which is good if you're going for the musical angle. Definitely wasn't a 1989 release, but I can absolutely see how a light-colored spirit and a dark beer could be considered Ebony and Ivory. Anyway, that was round number 1. So, TJ, let's take a look.
Let's meet the teams.
Who we got, and I'll pull up round number 2.
We've got TJ as Q at 3 points. We've got Tylenol and Melatitis at 4 points. Kanye West Nile virus, and we'll probably quit during the music round. I hope not.
Appreciate your honesty, but yes, we do hope not.
Third podium, Team Coast to Coast, Taco Belly Rubs, Spandau Bidet, Lucifer's Laser Eyes, Rural Jurors, Operation Trumbo Drop, Octopodes Nuts, and Gentlefolk Octopodes, all playing and competing for the title here tonight.
Do we not have a perfect score?
We did not have a perfect
Wow,
score. We
okay.
have 4 tied at 7.
Interesting. I'd like to thank Dan Fitzpatrick there for saying St. Lucia is apparently the correct pronunciation. We appreciate you giving us some more information. And we would like to say thank you to Stephen Glassman for kicking us off donation-wise. Thanks very much. If anybody wants to contribute, please hit us up at Venmo is at McKinney-Sizemore. PayPal is ksizemore at hotmail.com.
Or at least that's how they pronounce it in Grenada, about 150 miles. Had to get that subtle flex in there, didn't you, Dan? Well, here in Grenada, we just say it different.
All right. And round number 2, question number 1. I'll get us started here.
That's cool.
As commonly rendered in English, how many African countries have a name consisting of only 4 letters?
You only get 4.
You only get 4. Nice short question for you.
Mm-hmm.
As commonly rendered in English, how many African countries have a short name consisting of only 4 letters? We're looking for the amount of countries that are spelled with only 4 letters. Or
as commonly rendered in English.
Are 4 letters long, not that are only spelled with 4 letters, because I think I can come up with some that are spelled with only 4 letters, but 4 letters long. That's question 1.
Question number 2. The 1975 Tokusatsu series, Super Sentai, is likely best known as the inspiration for what American entertainment franchise that first premiered on television in 1993, or the American version of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, 1975 was when Super Sentai premiered, and then the American takeoff premiered first in 1993.
Yep. 1975 Tokusatsu series Super Sentai is likely best known as the inspiration for what American entertainment franchise that first premiered in 1993. That is question number 2.
All right, question number 3. Seen on the following slide is a work by Barbara Hepworth titled Single Form. This was installed at a New York City location in 1964 to memorialize what Swedish-born diplomat, the only recipient of a posthumous Nobel Peace Prize. So once again, that is a Barbara Hepworth sculpture. It is titled Single Form, and it was installed at a New York City location in 1964 to memorialize what Swedish-born diplomat who died in 1961 and became the first and only recipient of a posthumous Nobel Peace Prize? That's question number 3.
Question number 4. According to the African American Intellectual History Society, serenity, fertility, renewal, harmony, passion, and ancestral union are represented in the colors of what Ghanaian cloth fabric seen on the following slide? So what is the name of this Ghanaian cloth fabric?
That's absolutely it. Love those colors. Love those
Especially
colors.
the ones on the right. Big fan of like the lilacs in there.
The ones on the left I've seen much more often.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm led to believe that they are possibly more traditional, and I love the vibrancy. But I do also like the palette of the ones on the right.
So what is that Ghanaian cloth fabric? That is question number 4.
Moving on now to question number 5, and this one comes to us from Sarah Ann Rapp. Thank you very much, Sarah.
Thank you, sir.
Which Bronx-born former doo-wop musician released the 1975 album Born to Be With You, as seen on the following redacted slide? Initially a flop, the album came to be regarded as a well-respected and influential classic. And here is the picture of that. That is the album cover for Born to Be With You, a 1975 album released by what Bronx-born former doo-wop singer? And that is question number 5.
That is question number 5. Question number 6. In an event the New York Times described as the day the music burned, which entertainment studio lost more than 100,000 of its master recordings in a non-lethal fire in 2008? What studio had a non-lethal fire in 2008 when it lost over 100,000 of its master recordings? Which studio is that?
Jordan Lack shouting out the Bronx. Go Bronx.
That's question 6.
Question number 7 starts out with the number 7. How fitting. The number 7
It's almost like you did it on purpose. Who would do such a thing?
The number 7 on the following slide corresponds to the location of the Sertoli cells, a unit whose primary function is the production of what other type of cell? So, this is your image. That number 7 corresponds to the location of Sertoli cells. Sertoli cells' primary function are the genesis of what other type of cell? That is question number 7.
What time is it?
Oh, isn't it?
It is.
It is.
It is Randy Anagram time. Randy Anagram time. Rearrange the following letters to form an 8-letter word. You got men's buns. MENSBUNS. Men's buns in your hint. This is probably not the most sensitive one we've come up with. Let's say that.
And we've got some competitors for that title.
Men's buns. This is probably not the most sensitive one we've come up with. And now, it's time for the recap.
Let's go through the recap. Question number 1, as commonly rendered in English, how many countries in Africa have a name that is only 4 letters long?
Question number 2, in the Tokusatsu series Super Sentai, it is best known as the inspiration for what American franchise that first premiered on television in 1993?
Question number 3, this Barbara Hepworth sculpture titled Single Form was erected in 1964 to memorialize what Swedish-born diplomat who died in 1961 and became the first and only posthumous winner of a Nobel Peace Prize.
Question number 4, fertility, renewal, harmony, passion, ancestral union, and serenity are represented in the colors of what Ghanaian cloth that is seen on this slide? What is the name of this Ghanaian cloth fabric? That is question number 4. Give me just a few more seconds with it.
Sounds good. I mean, I kind of want that to be my wallpaper. It's just so beautiful and mesmerizing. Question number 5. This question comes to you from Sarah Ann Rapp. Which Bronx-born former doo-wop musician released the 1975 album Born to Be With You, as seen on the following redacted slide. Initially a failure, this album has come to be regarded as an influential and important classic. Once again, looking for the name of the Bronx-born former doo-wop star who released that 1975 album titled Born to Be With You.
That's question 5.
Yep.
Question number 6. In an event called The Day the Music Burned, what entertainment studio lost 100,000 of its master recordings in a non-lethal fire in 2008? What entertainment studio burned in 2008, losing over 100,000 of its master recordings? That was question 6.
Question number 7. The number 7 on this slide here corresponds to the location of the Sertoli cells, a particular type of cellular unit whose primary function is the genesis of what other type of cells? Which type of cells are produced by Sertoli cells, which are indicated by the number 7 on this diagram?
And finally, it is Randy Anagram time. Rearrange the following letters to form an 8-letter word. And you've got men's buns.
Squeeze, squeeze.
MENSBUNS, men's buns. And your hint, this is probably not the most sensitive one we've come up with. Once again, men's buns, this is probably not the most sensitive one we've come up with. And with that, we will see you in just a few minutes. Get your answers in, get yourself a beverage, get yourself comfortable, and we will see you in just a few.
Yeah, I'm going to put on this royalty-free R&B station, and we're going to pop off for a bit. See you soon.
Boy. All right, we are back here with round number 2's answers. So without further ado, let's get into them.
Let's hit it.
And one more. Yeah, hit one more there.
Question number 1. As commonly rendered in English, how many African countries have a name consisting of only 4 letters? Most of you got this. One of you also saw fit to tell us which countries, which I will tell you now. That was 3. Starting from the left, going to the right, and then going to the bottom center, we have Chad, then Mali, and Togo.
Yep.
Chad, Mali, and Togo are the only 4-letter countries that are found in Africa.
As rendered in English, obviously.
Of course, as rendered in English, shortened names. Not a whole lot of 4-letter countries, period. I mean, Laos and Cuba come to mind. Fiji, Peru, good ones. Yeah, if you can think of any more 4-letter countries, put them in the chat.
Somebody's going to go hard.
Someone's going to go hog.
The 1975 Tokusatsu series Super Sentai is likely best known as the inspiration for what American entertainment franchise? It first premiered in 1993. Hey, thanks. So that series was the Power Rangers. We had a lot of people say Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. We would have taken any kind of Power Rangers. You would just say Bryan Cranston. Maybe you would have gotten credit for that too. Second Bryan Cranston of the night.
Second Bryan Cranston. Yeah, Tokusatsu is a genre in which heroic characters engage in like special effects laden adventures that are principally aimed at children. So that's where we got them. Oman, that's a good one.
Yep.
Iraq and Iran.
Yep.
Naui, he says he counts Naui. Not a lot of people count Naui, though. Let's see. Coming back with the webcam. And question number 3. Seen on the following slide is a work by Barbara Hepworth titled Single Form, which was installed at a New York City location in 1964 to memorialize...
New York City location. That's one way to put it.
That is one way to put it.
What's with all the flags?
To memorialize what Swedish-born diplomat who is the first and only posthumous recipient of a Nobel Peace Prize. As you might be able to tell, based on the rounded flag colonnade there, that is in front of the United Nations building. And the work Single Form was to commemorate the loss of Barbara Hepworth's friend, actually, UN Secretary General Dag Hammarskjöld. Dag Hammarskjöld died in a plane crash that was probably not accidental while he was trying to mitigate the Congolese crisis, and he was given the Nobel Peace Prize just a few months later, if I'm not mistaken.
And to this date, the only posthumous.
Mm-hmm.
Question number 4. According to the African American Intellectual History Society, serenity, fertility, renewal, harmony, passion, and ancestral union are represented on the colors of what Ghanaian cloth as seen here? What is the name of this Ghanaian cloth? And your answer was Kente cloth.
Yep, Kente
Absolutely
cloth.
Beautiful.
A couple of scoring notes. We gave credit in round number 1 after revisiting it. We gave credit for Beaver Taps for Beaver Tail.
Yep.
And Turbisky for Mitch Trubisky because it sounded similar enough.
Pretty close.
However, if you gave us the guess of Kempe for Kente cloth, we did not give you credit for that because Kempe is a different thing. I'm pretty sure it is a fermented beverage, of Asian fermented beverage.
I thought it was Indonesian, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's an Asian fermented beverage. If anyone knows what Kempe is, please respond.
in the chat.
But unfortunately, we did not give you credit for that. Kente cloth is what we're looking for. Question number 5. This question coming to you from Sarah. Which Bronx-born former doo-wop musician released the 1975 album Born to Be With You, as seen on the following redacted slide? So we had a question as if this question, we had a question about this question.
Question about question. Yep.
Asking if it was written because of Phil Spector's recent passing. It was not.
It was written beforehand.
2 things. It was written beforehand, and we are in no way commemorating Phil Spector. Fuck him. But anyway, this question was written by Sarah like at the beginning of the week. So she had written it, and then Phil Spector was initially included in the question. We took him out, and then he got taken out. That's what happened. Yeah. And this is Dion DiMucci was the guy who released that. First known for doing doo-wop as a teenager. He's been mentioned before on Octopus.
Yep, he has been the answer in the music round.
Thank you, Sarah.
Question number 6. In an event the New York Times described as the day the music burned, what entertainment studio lost more than 100,000 of its master recordings in a non-lethal fire in 2008? We're definitely need copyright struck for them just for mentioning their name at this point. This is Universal Studios.
Yes, a workman was trying to apply a facade, and he was doing so by heating asphalt tiles. Unfortunately, he did not check when he went to lunch that the tiles had fully cooled down. They had not. They were able to ignite something nearby, and it started a large blaze. Nobody died, by the way. There weren't
Yeah, it
even
was a
any
non-lethal fire.
There were no injuries, as far as I'm aware.
There's a lot of injury to music, though.
But there was a ton of lost archive material in film, and especially in music.
Yeah.
Also devastated the King Kong ride that was there.
Yeah.
Question number 7.
Some would say it never quite recovered.
Well, different King Kong ride. This is the California Universal.
Yeah.
The number 7 on this slide corresponds to the location of the Sertoli cells. These cells are responsible for the production of what other type of cells? Well, those cells are responsible for the production of sperm. And if you look at the diagram, that's an inverted pair of testes. So sperm was what we were looking for there. Speaking of testes.
And question number 8, Randy anagram time. Rearrange the following letters to form an 8-letter word. Men's buns is what you got. You had men's buns. M-U-M-E-N-S-B-U-N-S. Men's buns in your hint. This is probably not the most sensitive one we've ever come up with. And it would not be the most sensitive because the answer is numbness.
Hey, it worked. My searing leg pain is now a gentle numbness. It wouldn't be an octopus game without a little bit of Simpsons in it. All right, let's take a look at the scoreboard, TJ.
Yes, let's not take a look at the scoreboard. We don't do that until after round 3.
I thought you said we did it in round 2. You said that like the only one we don't do it in is round 3. We talked about that today.
Yeah, you're right.
Yep.
You're right.
Yep, we went over the cues this morning.
We did. Remember your production notes. In 13th place with 7 points tied, we have TJ is Q. I'm really hoping it's the Q from James Bond.
Yeah, you can stand in front of the Fighting Temeraire and go, you see, that's also
it's all tuckered out. It's all tuckered out. Yep. Savis Funky Rhythms, also with 7 points, 9 points for Tylenol and Melatoninus. Will Probably Quit During the Music Round has 11 points, so they're actually doing quite well going into music.
Good stuff.
In 12 points apiece for Spandau Bidet and Kanye West Nile Virus. 6th place tied, 13 points apiece for third podium, Team Coast to Coast and Taco Belly Rubs. 14 points in 5th place is the Rural Jurors. In 2nd place, 15 points apiece for Operation Trumbo Job, Gentlefolk Octopodes and Lucifer's Laser Eyes. And in 1st place with the only perfect score going in, it is Octopodes Nuts with a full 16.
All right, Twitch and YouTube users, I have dropped the Vocaroo link into your respective chats. So this is the music round, and things are just a little bit different. In the music round, you're going to hear 8 different clips. 1 point will be given for each correctly guessed title, 1 point for each correctly guessed artist, and 2 for correctly guessing the theme. The way this works is we're going to post a link to Vocaroo, which will give you the audio that you need for the music round. Feel free to listen, rewind, and listen again. I believe the clip runs about a little bit over 5 minutes, and you will have 10 minutes to submit your answer. We will be absent from the stream during that time, and there will be no filler music, so you can concentrate. We will pop back on at the 2-minute mark to let you know that you're getting close to running out of time and to, get those submissions in when you have the chance. But anyway, it is all yours now. Ball is in your court. Best of luck with the music round. I'm going to set the timer, and again, there will be no filler music during that time, so you can concentrate. We will see you in about 8 minutes.
Yep.
Good luck. All right, it's right about the 2-minute mark, so we wanted to pop on here and just let you know that you only have 2 minutes to submit your answers. Now, it seems like a lot of time, but I promise it goes a lot quicker than you think. So you have less than 2 minutes to submit your answers. After the timer ends, we'll wait just a little while, and then we'll start turning on some filler music to try to get you to hurry up just a bit. But as for now, you have 1:40, so take your time and get those answers in when you can. Best of luck. All right, we have most of our responses in already, and the time is up. So now I'm going to start turning on filler music while we wait for the last submissions to come in. And we'll grade those answers and get back to you as soon as possible. This is the perfect time to go and powder your nose or grab yourself something to drink. I know I got myself a second beer. Second beer. So enjoy yourselves. We'll be back in just a few minutes to give you the answers, and we will move in around 4 right after that.
Yep.
See you soon.
At least Dan's enjoying it.
Well, after that polka break, we are ready to get into round number 3's answers. And it seems like everybody did pretty well on this one.
Including the team that said they were going to quit during the music round. Did quite well during the music round.
All right, let's take a look here. Scoring break is taken care of. Here are your answers from round number 3, starting with question number 1. And this one was, give me a second. I can remember this.
You have a
Yep,
thing.
got it. That would be Time for Me to Fly by REO Speedwagon. That is the second time we've used the album cover for You Can Tune a Piano, but you can't tune a fish.
Yep.
Chiefly because I love that dumb thing so much. But yeah, that's one of their lesser played songs. It's still A tier, like in terms of popularity. In terms of popularity, it's definitely A tier, but it still gets played far less than their other A tier songs, and I like that one more.
Song number 2 was Is She Really Going Out With Him by Joe Jackson.
Not that one.
Nope, not that one.
Nope, Joe Jackson, the British musician, who is one of the whitest people I have ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
He also has just like a really cool John Waters style photo as his Wikipedia. Like he's just wrapping his lips around a saxophone and giving eye contact to the camera. It's like, I see you, Joe. Okay.
Song number 3 was Always On Time by Ja Rule featuring Ashanti. Ja Rule doing a little bit better than he did during, the Fire Festival and the Bucks halftime show last year when technical difficulties prevented him from performing until 3.5 minutes left to go in halftime. And the Bucks were already out shooting foul shots.
So he's going living it up, and everybody's like zooming in on Giannis taking threes.
Yep, exactly.
We accepted basically any answer that mentioned Ja Rule or Always or On Time.
Or Ashanti.
Always we're normally not going to accept for this because it's a 3-word title, but it fit the theme perfectly, and someone figured out what we were doing.
So we definitely had to give credit for that.
Gave you credit for that. Right There by Chingy was number 4. I had no idea where Chingy was from until I looked it up. And
until you looked at all of his pictures.
Boy, will he tell you. The album cover from which this song comes depicts him standing in front of the Gateway Arch wearing a basketball jersey that says St. Louis.
And then there he is in his Cardinals jacket.
Got the Redbirds on.
Yeah.
Song number
Not
5,
the only birds that are mentioned. Song number 5 was To Love Somebody by the Bee Gees.
Speaking of album covers, this one tripped me out.
Yeah.
It's from the Bee Gees First, is what it's called. There are 5 members of the Bee Gees there in that particular iteration, and it's got this psychedelic style album cover, probably done by Hypnosis. So, just not what I would typically associate with the Bee Gees.
Song number 6 was Do You Think I'm Sexy by Rod Stewart. This got pretty well dunked.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Of course.
I realized I had only heard most of that song as chorus, and I was listening to some of the verses, and I'm like, it's got a good vibe to it. I like this song. Yeah, Rod Stewart always delivers.
Song number 7 was What's Your Fantasy by Ludacris and Shauna.
Speaking of somebody who always
Speaking
delivers.
of the Dirty Birds, the Dirty Birds kick for 3.
Yeah, again, if you don't know where Ludacris is from, he will tell you. Absolutely.
It's the ATL.
He's from Atlanta for sure. And like I said, speaking of someone who always delivers, Ludacris has always got at least some clever wordplay in his songs. He is fun. I think he's a guy we'll look back on and go, why didn't we treat him as a living legend while he was in the game?
Yeah. And the last song of the round was Right Back Where We Started From by Maxine Nightingale. This is just a fun song.
Oh, absolutely.
Everybody knows it, but not a whole lot of people remember Maxine Nightingale. And I think that's a shame because it's really, really good. If you're going to have one hit, that's a hell of a one to have.
That's the one. All right, let's take a look at the theme, which some of you already figured out. You've got Time for Me to Fly by REO Speedwagon. Is She Really Going Out With Him by Joe Jackson. Always On Time by Ja Rule and Ashanti. Right There by Chingy. To Love Somebody, Bee Gees. Do You Think I'm Sexy, Rod Stewart. What's Your Fantasy, Ludacris featuring Shauna. I almost said, what's your name? What's your name? What's your name?
Yeah.
Right Back Where We Started From, Maxine Nightingale. And that is, the time is always right to do what is right. I know there are a lot of people that are quoting Martin Luther King today without observing the context of the systemic racism that he fought against, and I just want everyone to know that this is not some call for any kind of consequence-free unity. The reason we chose this quote was because we want to get across the fact that we believe it is everybody's duty to acknowledge the right thing to do and take action for that right thing to manifest itself. We really, really appreciate the struggles that Dr. King went through. As a non-minority member of society, we can't even fucking imagine anything like that, or the courage that it took. So we salute Dr. King today and every day, and we try to do our best to represent all perspectives on this stream. So thanks for tuning in. And we're going to move on now to round number 4.
The gateway arch is as wide as it is tall. That's cool.
It is. It's 680 feet both ways. It's a catenary curve, so it's made to be that way. It supports itself.
Yeah.
It is so, so cool. All right. Ready to get started?
Yeah, round number 4. It's question number 1.
Question number 1. Prior to writing his magnum opus Roots, author Alex Haley first gained success as the co-author of what historical figure's 1965 autobiography? What historical figure co-wrote their 1965 autobiography with future Roots author Alex Haley? That's question 1.
Question number 2. English actor Sophia Myles first played the title character in what 2006 epic romance in which she and James Franco starred as a pair of legendary lovers? English actor Sophia Myles first played a title character in what 2006 epic romance in which she and James Franco starred as a pair of legendary lovers? What is the name of that film? That's question 2.
Excellently done. Question number 3. Named for the sea it once spanned, what is the name of the land bridge that is theorized to have allowed both human and animal populations to travel across continents? Once again, named for the sea that it once spanned, what is the name of the land bridge that is theorized to have allowed both human and animal populations to travel across specific continents?
That's
question 3.
Question number 4. As seen on the following slide, in which capital city can you find the Satellite Museum of the Louvre, as well as a still under construction arm of the Guggenheim? So what capital city is seen here with an extension of the Louvre and a still under construction wing of the Guggenheim?
I've been looking at pictures of that Louvre extension for like the last 3 days. Like every angle I see it at, I really just want to see it in person.
Yep. So what capital city is this arm of the Louvre, or the extension of the Louvre on the left? And then on the right is a still under construction wing of the Guggenheim. In which capital city will you be able to find both? That's question 4.
Absolutely. That's question number 4. And here's question number 5. Poet W.H. Auden was the original lyricist for what musical, whose later lyricist, Joe Darion, penned the words to the Broadway standard The Impossible Dream? So once again, The Impossible Dream was a Broadway standard and a standout track, or number, I should say, from which Broadway musical? It was written by Joe Darion, but the original lyricist for the production was poet W.H. Auden. That's question 5. And today, or rather yesterday, I learned.
Question 6. Despite a torn thigh muscle that prevented him from playing in Game 6 of the 1970 NBA Finals, what New York Knick made a miraculous return into action in the victorious Game 7, leading his team in points per game throughout the series, despite only scoring 4 in the defining Game 7. So despite a torn thigh muscle, what New York Knick made a comeback in Game 7 famously. Very famously.
Very famously.
If you look up his name, it's the first thing you see. That is question 6.
Question number 7. In addition to co-founding the International Workers of the World, with many others, by the way, tons of co-founders, what Indiana-born organizer spent 6 months in prison on seditionist charges before making news across the country in 1900, 1904, 1908, 1912, and 1920? So once again, 1900, 1904, 1908, 1912, and 1920 were newsworthy years for what Indiana-born organizer who co-founded the IWW and spent 6 months in prison on sedition charges? That's question 7.
And question number 8, pictured on the following slide, are a pair of variations on what popular Indian dish of mixed rice, spices, and any of a variety of meats.
Tons of ways you can prepare this.
But what is this traditional Indian dish called?
The one on the right is lamb and saffron, and the one on the left is referred to as kachi, this dish. So kachi blank, and that's Kacchi. If anybody happens to know their variations on this dish.
But that is question 8, and that's making me hungry.
That is making me hungry. That is delicious looking.
Time for the question recap.
Let's do it. All right, question number 1 once again. Prior to writing his magnum opus Roots, author Alex Haley first gained success as the co-author of what historical figure's 1965 autobiography? Which historical figure wrote their 1965 autobiography with Roots author Alex Haley?
Question number 2, Sophia Myles played a title character in what 2006 epic romance alongside James Franco, where they starred as a pair of legendary lovers? In what film did James Franco and Sophia Myles star as a pair of legendary lovers? That's question 2.
Question number 3, name for the sea it once spanned. What is the name of the land bridge that is theorized to have allowed both human and animal populations to travel across continents? Boom.
Question number 4, seen on the following slide, is what capital city that you can find as a satellite museum of the Louvre on the left and an arm of the Guggenheim that is still under construction on the right? In what capital city can you see both of these? That is question number 4. And you could just stare at the whole
I could,
day.
and that's not even my favorite picture of the one on the left. All right, question number 5. Poet W.H. Auden was the original lyricist for what Broadway musical, whose eventual lyricist, Joe Darion, penned the number The Impossible Dream? So The Impossible Dream is a standout musical number from what Broadway musical? That's question 5.
Question number 6, despite a torn thigh muscle, what basketball Hall of Famer came back in Game 7 for the New York Knicks and led his team in points per game throughout the series, despite only scoring 4 in Game 7? That is question number 6.
Only 2 buckets?
Only 2 buckets.
Only 2?
I mean, he came back from a torn thigh muscle, so, you know.
Yeah, well, sure. Got to be camping out under the cup, really. Question number 7. In addition to co-founding the IWW, what Indiana-born organizer spent time in prison on sedition charges and made news in 1900, 1904, 1908, 1912, and 1920?
And your last question of the round on the following slide are a variation of what popular Indian dish that is a mix of rice, spices, and any variety of meats. What is the name of this popular Indian dish?
Once again, on the one on the right, I believe, is lamb and saffron, and the one on the left is kachi, Kacchi. All right. I believe that is it.
Yep, that is it for round number 4. Please get your answers in. We'll be running through these while you guys submit, and we will see you in just a few.
Best of luck, everybody.
All right, it is time to get on with these correct answers from round number 4.
And get off of that ska station. That's what it called itself. Ska. Question number 1. Prior to writing his magnum opus, Roots, author Alex Haley first gained success as the co-author of what historical figures 1965 autobiography? That would be Malcolm X. And there you can see Alex sitting at the typewriter while Malcolm X dictates. That was his actually first published work.
That's a hell of a way to start.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Question number 2. English actress Sophia Myles played a title character in what 2006 epic romance with James Franco, where the pair starred as legendary lovers? The name of that film was Tristan and Isolde.
While I can't speak to the actual subject matter because I haven't seen like the opera or read any of the legends, I remember when watching this basically thinking it was Romeo and Juliet with painted chests and beards. Question number 3. Name for the sea it once spanned. What is the name of the land bridge that is theorized to have allowed both human and animal populations to travel across continents? That would be the Bering Land Bridge. That
Name
particular
for the Bering Sea.
Yep. That particular landmass was called Beringia. So if you said Beringia, well done. I didn't know that until yesterday, but you got credit. And I am so sorry to have to tell the team that said Barents Sea that is incorrect. It is a different sea located in Norway and Russia. Whereas Bering is like between Russia and North America.
Question number 4. As seen on the following slide, what capital city can you find this satellite museum of the Louvre and a still under construction wing of the Guggenheim?
And which city would that be, TJ?
That would be Abu Dhabi, the capital of the UAE, the United Arab Emirates.
Yeah, as part of some of their westernization efforts that the United Arab Emirates had made in order to generate tourism and be basically considered a world city, they have courted art programs quite a bit.
Sense, yeah.
And the installation of the Satellite Louvre Museum was groundbreaking because of the fact that it was the only Louvre museum located outside of France. Mm-hmm. To my knowledge. If that's incorrect, please let me know. And then you got the Frank Gehry architecture of the Guggenheim on the right, which has apparently been a long-standing project. It has been taking forever, but it's still, looks fresh as a daisy. Looks gorgeous. All right, and question number 5, bringing back us, and them. Yeah. Question number 5, poet W.H. Auden was actually the original lyricist for what musical, which contains the Broadway standard The Impossible Dream? Joe Darion wrote that song, and that would be by... Hold on. Oh, that's the countdown timer. That's why I look like a smudge.
Okay,
Smudge on the lens.
Yep.
Yeah. And that would be Man of La Mancha.
This is very well converted. I think it might be in the social.
I could totally see that. In fact, I'll put up the social.
Yep.
I pressed it and nothing happened. All right. Anyway, we will move on to question number 6.
Question number 6. Despite a torn thigh muscle, what NBA Hall of Famer missed Game 6 of the 1970 Finals, only to make a miraculous comeback in Game 7 and score 4 points and be called by Howard Cosell the embodiment of the American spirit.
Human spirit. Yeah, the very best that the human spirit can offer.
And that will be Willis Reed. There is the iconic video and photo of Willis Reed walking out of the tunnel to give the Knicks the win over the Los Angeles Lakers.
All right, and we're moving on to question number 7. In addition to co-founding the IWW, what Indiana-born organizer spent time in prison on sedition charges and also made news across the country in 1900, 1904, 1908, 1912, and 1920?
Those are all even number years, and they seem to be spaced 4 years apart for the most part.
Yeah, those are, as you pointed out, significant years. Those are all election years in which Eugene Victor Debs ran for president. To varying degrees of success, of course. Never a snowball's chance in hell, really. But he was the main candidate for the Socialist Party at the turn of the century.
And question number 8, pictured on the following slide, are a pair of variations on what popular Indian dish that has mixed rice, spices, and variety of meats. This was also very well converted. And as we pointed out, it was saffron and lamb on the right, correct?
Yep, and kachi on the left, I believe. And that would be biryani.
That is biryani, yep.
Yeah. Kachi biryani is the one over there on the left. I'm pretty sure that's made with chicken. Or no, I think Caci Biryani actually, I don't think that's the one on the left. I think that's just regular, like, biryani classic.
Mm-hmm.
Caci Biryani, I believe, is a vegetarian variant on biryani, which can be made with just about any meat you can think of. All right, let's take a look at the scores.
Let's take a look at him. 14th place, 16 points for TJ is Q. 13th place, 22 points for Savas Funky Rhythms. In 12th place, 24 points for Will Probably Quit During the Music Round. 11th place, 28 points for Tylenol and Melatoninus. 10th place, 34 points for Spandau Bidet. 9th place, 35 points for Team Coast to Coast. Tied for 7th with 37 points apiece, Taco Belly Rubs and Lucifer's Laser Eyes. 6th place, 38 points for Kanye West Nile Virus. Tied for 4th with 39 points for Third Podium and Rural Jurors. Tied for 2nd, 40 points for Gentlefolk Octopodes and Octopodes Nuts. And pipping them at the post with one single point over 41 points for Operation Trumbo Drop.
Awesome. Well, we have less than 30 minutes till 11. We're going to try to get you out before 11. Just want to show a couple of gifts real quick to say thank you to Mark Dawson for that donation.
Yeah.
Thanks for making it rain there. And T, choose a number between 1 and 7 there.
Let's go with a 3.
All right.
There we go.
Counting that paper. Thank you very much for Stephen Glassman's donation earlier in the game. If you want to donate, please hook us up at Venmo at McKinney-Sizemore or PayPal using ksizemore@hotmail.com. Here, my friends, it's round number 5.
It is indeed round number 5.
Question number 1. What fictional character has been redacted from the following collage of titles published in a series that ran from 1915 to 1974?
Has some staying power.
Yep. So once again, I'm going to show you, as I disappear, a collage of titles. Those colorful squares have omitted the name of what fictional character who appears in a series that was published from 1915 to 1974. What fictional character has been covered in that pink, sort of, what is that? Seafoam, maybe?
Yeah.
And nice orange square. That's what we're looking for. That's question number 1.
Question number 2, as seen on the following slide, Adams Bridge is a mostly sunken mass of shoals that may have once connected what country with its largest island, Manor Island?
Oh, I didn't have to disappear.
Nope, you did not. What country was connected with Manor Island and was once,
Connected with its largest
Yep.
island, Manor Island, by the Adams Bridge, which today is like a mostly sunken
Yep.
landmass.
So what country is that? That is question number 2.
All right. We also got another donation. I know previously this person has not wanted to have their identity revealed, but I still would like to throw up a nice gift in their honor. So thank you very much,
They still get money, kids.
anonymous benefactor.
You still get money, yes.
Question number 3. Only paying an estimated $25.3 million in salary. What Major League Baseball team had the lowest payroll of any organization during the pandemic-shortened 2020 season, with only Chris Archer and Gregory Polanco cracking the $3 million mark? So again, athletes Chris Archer and Gregory Polanco are the only athletes to crack the $3 million salary mark for what Major League Baseball team which had the least lucrative payroll of any team during the 2020 season? Spell?
Yeah.
Not sure what that means. Anyway, that is question number 3.
Question number 4. The father of what children's television character claims to be a bit of an expert on everything from muddy puddles to making pizza? That is question number 4. Short and sweet for you.
Yeah, it is. Give it to him one more time.
Yeah. The father of what children's television character claims to be a bit of an expert on everything from muddy puddles to making pizza? That is question number 4.
Question number 5. Which dramatist's family was the subject of a 1940 Supreme Court case against a Chicago subdivision that refused to allow the purchase of land by black citizens, a story that would become the plot of her most famous work? Which dramatist used a family story in which her family took part in a 1940 Supreme Court case against a Chicago subdivision that refused to allow purchase of land by black people as a plot point in her most famous work? Oh, the name of the island. Yeah, Manor Island is Mannar. Mannar. And that is question number 5.
And question number 6. According to its title, what butt-naked literary and mythical character is depicted deep in ponderous thought in the in the Ong painting seen on the following slide. So in this Ong painting, what mythical character is seen deep in thought? And of course, booted naked.
Totally. Trying to pose it up a little bit.
Why is it going to cost that much? Just,
really? All right, that's question number 6. Here's question number 7. In 2017, which rapper performed the gospel song How Great, as well as the hit No Problem, on the same evening he accepted the Grammy Award for Best New Artist? So once again, in 2017, while accepting the Grammy Award for Best New Artist, what rapper performed their hit No Problem, as well as gospel song How Great? That is question number 7.
that is question number 7.
And round it out for me, please.
Question number 8. After the disappointment of Cowboys versus Aliens.
I think it's Cowboys and Aliens.
I thought it was Cowboys versus
Yeah, I'll double check that while you're reading.
And the thrill of launching a billion-dollar action franchise. What actor and director stepped away from big-budget projects to direct the food truck family dramedy Chef?
It's Cowboys and Aliens.
Okay,
Yeah.
So after the disappointment of Cowboys and Aliens and the thrill of launching a billion-dollar action franchise, what actor and director stepped away from big-budget fare to direct the food truck family dramedy Chef?
Oh, big budget fare. I like how you tied that in with the culinary leanings of that last project. That's question number 8. So let's take a look at the recap in brief.
Recap, yep.
Question number 1. What fictional character has been redacted from the following titles? Once again, this fictional character was featured in a series that ran from 1915 to 1974.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah. At the very least, those titles are by its original author. I'm guessing it probably got continued either in fanfic or authorized works.
Reproductions, yeah.
Exactly. But once again, what fictional character has been redacted by the pink, seafoam green, and orange rectangles seen on this slide? That's question number 1.
Question number 2, as seen on the following slide, Adam's Bridge is a mostly sunken mass of shoals that may have once connected what country with its largest island, Mannar Island? Mannar Island is the largest island of what country? That is question number 2.
Question number 3. Only paying an estimated $25.3 million in salary, what MLB team who employs Chris Archer and Gregory Polanco had the least lucrative payroll of any team in the 2020 pandemic-shortened season? Archer and Polanco are the only members of this team's roster to make more than $3 million. That's 3.
Question number 4, the father of what children's television character claims to be a bit of an expert on everything from muddy puddles to making pizza?
Question number 5. Which dramatist family was the subject of a Supreme Court case against a Chicago subdivision that refused to allow purchase of land by black citizens? That story would later form the plot of her most famous work. So we're looking for the name of the dramatist whose family was the subject of that court case and how that court case would influence their later greatest work. Yep.
Question number 6, according to its title, what butt-naked literary mythical character is depicted deep in ponderous thought in the Ong painting seen on the following slide?
Who
so
dat?
in this Ong painting, yeah, who dat?
Who dat?
I didn't tell you who dat gonna beat them Saints.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Kind of weird being a Tampa Bay resident, not a Tampa Bay fan, right? They're fun to watch.
I'd root for Leonard. Root for Leonard.
Oh,
Fournette.
yeah. I want better for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Jaguars did him dirty.
He didn't deserve what happened to him.
No, nobody deserved what happened under that regime.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's question number 6, and this is Armchair Quarterback Corner. Question number 7. In 2017, while accepting the Grammy Award for Best New Artist, what rapper performed How Great and their hit No Problem?
You have to root for former Gentleman Octopus answer line Mike Evans, too.
Oh, yeah. Mike Evans is a monster, man.
Yeah, he is. He's good. And question number 8. After the disappointment of Cowboys and Aliens and the thrill of launching a billion-dollar action franchise, what actor and director took a break from big-budget affairs and directed the food truck family dramedy Chef?
That's it.
So who directed Chef? That is the last question of the night. Get your answers in. We will have a winner very shortly.
Absolutely. Best of luck, everybody. All right, and we are back and ready to give you your answers from our final round tonight. Thanks everybody for hanging out, and hope we've been able to
Get you out in a brisk 2 hours.
exactly. All right, starting here with question number 1. What fictional character has been redacted from the following works published in a series from 1915 to 1974? Quite a doing there. We left P.J. Woodhouse in there just to give you,
Just to give you a little extra.
Give you a little extra. And if you could see, the suits, the hats, all that, you could probably think it might have something to do with a butler or a valet. That would be correct because these are all books about Jeeves.
You can ask him about it, too.
Yeah, you can ask him about it. The inimitable Jeeves. Thank you, Jeeves. Very good Jeeves. There's also Right Ho Jeeves, Carry On
There's
Jeeves.
so many Jeeves.
My Man Jeeves.
My man Jeeves.
Yep. And for all of you who want a little bit behind the scenes, as you can see in this particular photo, I cropped out the spines because I hadn't realized before running the test game that on those spines, if you look really closely, you can also see the word Jeeves.
You can see Jeeves. Question number 2, as seen on the following slide, Adams Bridge is mostly sunken mass of shoals that may have once connected what country with its largest island, Mannar Island?
It's a nice, tough geography question.
It's a very tough geography question. And Mannar Island is located near Sri Lanka.
Yes, Mannar Island is one of the, I believe, dozens of islands in Sri Lanka, and it is easily the largest. If you don't consider the main island, Sri Lanka itself, to be itself, yeah. If you consider Mannar Island to be an island of Sri Lanka, going by islands of Sri Lanka, Mannar is definitely huge. Question number 3. Which MLB team only paid $25.3 million in salary, the least of any other team during the pandemic-shortened 2020 season? Only athletes Chris Archer and Gregory Polanco for this team made $3 million or more. And that would be the Pittsburgh Pirates.
That would be the Pittsburgh Pirates, unless you think that it was because of the pandemic that they shortened their payroll. Oh, no. They were actually...
Jerome calling shenanigans. Yes, if you only consider Mannar Island and other islands that are not the main island of Sri Lanka to be islands of Sri Lanka, then
sure, shenanigans.
Then Mannar would be the largest. If, however, you want to consider the main island of Sri Lanka, it would be the largest, but it is still largest in relation to Mannar Island, which would be second largest, and they're both connected by the Adams Bridge, or at least were at one point. So I contend that it still stands. But anyway.
Yep, but the Pittsburgh Pirates were actually on track to have the lowest payroll in 6 years in Major League Baseball. And it's important to note that Chris Archer did not play in 2020 because of an arm injury he suffered the previous year. And and he was the highest paid player.
We can definitely talk later about how we know firsthand
how cheap the Pirates are.
How cheap the Pirates can be. Yeah. Anyway, moving on to question number 4. Your turn, TJ.
Yep. The father of what children's television character claims to be a bit of an expert on everything from muddy puddles to making pizza? Gave you the muddy puddles. Just give you a little bit of hint. This is Daddy Pig from Peppa Pig.
Jerome's calling malarkey.
And he is the #1 most full of shit cartoon character ever. Claims to be a bit of an expert on everything.
Yeah, that voice, that phrase had become a meme in our house over the last couple of weeks, so very proud to be able to get this on paper and exercise those particular porcine demons. Moving on to question number 5. Which dramatist's family was the subject of a 1940 Supreme Court case against a Chicago subdivision that refused to allow the purchase of land by black people? That story would later become the plot of her most famous work. I believe it's Washington Grove or Washington Coroners is the name of the subdivision in the play that this is most famous in, which would be A Raisin in the Sun, which is written by Lorraine Hansberry, taking inspiration from her own life and her family's history to show the struggles of black people in Chicago against racist-ass land developers.
Yeah, always fun. Question 6, according to its title, what Botanic literary and mythical characters depicted deep in ponderous thought on the following Ong painting? So there's the Ong painting, and the character seen there is Oedipus.
Yep, that creature up on the rock there with the wings and the boobs is a sphinx. And this is a depiction of Oedipus trying to solve the riddle of the sphinx. which is something
It
like
cannot be butter.
what crawls in the morning, walks during the afternoon, and then crawls again at evening. And the answer is like man. It's like youth, adolescence, old age.
What gets wetter as it dries? A towel.
Question number 7. In 2017, which rapper performed his gospel song How Great, as well as the hit No Problem, on the same evening he accepted the Grammy Award for Best New Artist? I'll be honest, I never dug No Problem. And when I was watching the Grammys that year, I was much, much more impressed by the way he did How Great. Gospel isn't my thing, but Chance was fantastic. And that's the giveaway for Chance the Rapper.
Yep. Could have given you the 3 hat, too.
Could have given you the 3
This
hat.
originally started as a Wendy's Spicy Nuggets commercial. Chance famously brought those back after getting 1 million likes on his tweet saying his positive affirmations.
Yep, positive affirmations.
Yep.
With the hands together.
Yep. Question number 8. After the disappointment of Cowboys and Aliens and the thrill of launching a billion-dollar action franchise, what actor and director stepped away from big-budget projects to direct the food truck family dramedy, Chef? He absolutely adores food trucks. We'll talk all day with you about him. This is Iron Man director Jon Favreau.
Right, I believe he directed the first 2 films before...
He also directed The Jungle Book and one of our favorites. Well, he didn't direct one of our favorites.
No,
but
but
he was
he's
in
one of the stars in one of our favorites,
The Replacements. Yep.
Yeah, fantastic
Danny
stuff.
Bateman.
All right, let's take a look at the results.
Let's do that.
We also have someone saying that Clybourne Park is the name of the development in Raisin in the Sun. Thank you very much for that.
14th place, 20 points for TJ is Q. No, I'm not. Please don't say that. 24 points, 13th place for Will Probably Quit During the Music Round. 12th place, 25 points for Save Us Funky Rhythms. And 11th place, 34 points for Tylenol and Melatinas. 10th place, 41 points, Team Coast to Coast. 9th place, 42 points, Spandau Bidet. 8th place, 43 points for Kanye West Nile Virus. Tied for 6th, 44 points for Rural Jurors and Lucifer's Laser Eyes. 5th place, 45 points for Taco Belly Rubs. Tied for 3rd, 46 points each for 3rd Podium and Gentlefolk Octopodes, 2 of our OGs.
Great scores.
2nd place, 48 points for Octopodes Nuts. And in 1st place, 49 points, just getting tripped up in round 1, was Operation Trumbo Drop, who waited all the way until the first round to come up with their name.
Congratulations, Operation Trumbo Drop. Thank you to everybody who popped off the Oedipus riddle there in the chat.
Thank you for everybody who filled out the survey.
Oh,
yes.
yes.
We'll take a look at those as well. We'll evaluate how we're going to do that going forward.
Do you want to post that one more time?
Yeah, I'll post it.
So once again, the survey is just a quick 3 questions I would like to ask you regarding how the stream is going and how you feel the stream should go in the future. So please take the time and fill out those quick 3 questions. I'd like to thank JT Trujillo for their donation. Thank you very much, JT. And I'm going to pop the number 2 there. And we got
Thanks, JT from TJ.
And we got Bugs Bunny counting the green. All right. If you feel like donating and have the means to do so, please hit us up at Venmo at McKinney-Sizemore or use PayPal at ksizemore@hotmail.com.
I want to stress once again, it is not necessary to donate in order to play.
Though
And
we do
look
appreciate it.
Yeah. We do look forward to seeing you next week, though.
Absolutely. We'll decide whether or not it's going to be 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, but we'll let you know sometime during this week.
Keep it tuned to the page, and we will have all of that information for you beforehand.
Absolutely. We're going to pop on some filler music and say goodnight here, only an hour and 55 into the stream. So,
Yeah, excellent.
Excellent.
Thank you very much for showing up, and thank you. We look forward to seeing you next week.
Have a good night.